Hey, we're back. And haven't done any really very much since the last time we were here. But I did notice when I was getting back into the game and I was getting ready. See, here's the MUN. That's our target. We're not quite lined up with the MUN's orbit. We're a little bit off. Hopefully that won't be enough off that it causes a problem when it comes time to actually intersect the MUN. And the real trick now is that I want to make sure I've got everything shut down. Let me talk you through the ship a little bit. These big panels are mine. I took the normal. These are the normal panels in the game. The Giantor XLs, and I just made them station grade. I upgraded all the factors by 100%. Just made them twice as large, and still have the same fixing points and stuff like that. But I just kind of went in and made a copy of the original and then refactored them to a larger size. Everything else except for this thing here, the Carmony nodes, those are parts of the home Carmony set, and this thing is its own, the Quest Legacy, not the airlock, the Zeus Station telescope. Both of those are from the Kerbal space dock, as well as these things which are part of the tech kit, the remote tech kit. I don't actually have the remote tech patches installed. I'm just using the parts because I think they look nice. I really like the looks of these dishes. They look really good. Otherwise, everything here is pretty stock. I haven't edited anything. I do have some other system larger parts that I've hacked into the game, but for the most part, this is very stock. Very, very stock. I just have my bigger solar panel because I think they look better, and there's another one of them right there, the giant station grade solar panel. Now we are low on fuel. The only fuel we've got really is the fuel in the lander. What we want to do is catch up with the MUN. So what I'm going to do is speed up the simulation to see if we catch up with the MUN at any point. This is kind of a crappy way of doing it. I mean, I'm not calculating where the MUN is going to be and then flying to it. In fact, I'm out of fuel. So I'm just going to kind of keep going around and around and around until I see that I either catch up with the MUN or I get some sort of gravity assist opportunity. And it seems to me I could speed up, but I am catching up to it little by little by little. And eventually here I expect to see those, here's my orbit change because I've come into the moon's gravitational pull. Obviously, we're getting really, really close now. We're getting closer and closer and closer. And it looks like on this orbit, we might actually get close enough. Aha, there we are, there we are, there we are. There we are. So here's my opportunity, right here. And this is where we don't know what's going to happen next. So I am headed towards the moon. And what I want to do is get kind of into this orientation. Right here. And let's see, we're still getting, okay, so now we're 11K above the MUN. So we've actually entered the gravitational field of the MUN. We're no longer in the gravitational field of, or we're no longer dependent upon the gravitational field of Kerbal, but we're now coming onto the MUN. So we're going to speed up a little bit, and now a lot of this from this point on is by the seat of the pants. We're going to try to get to about here, and then we're going to deaccelerate so that we fall into the MUN's gravity well. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Where's my opportunity here? Is that on the next orbit? Is that all the way around? It is. It's all the way around the next orbit. So we have to get all the way around here before that opportunity would happen. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Very carefully. We come around. MUN encounter is here. 6 days out, 4 days out. 3 days, 3 hours, 2 hours, zooming in, and here's our moment of opportunity here. When we reach this point, what we want to do is not overfly the MUN. Okay, here we go. Now, come on, go down to zero, down to normal time. There we are. Now we're in the MUN's orbit, and here's a chance where we're going to fling back out of it. And so what we want to do is close this circle. The way we're going to do that is by bringing ourselves against the counter direction of the movement of mass, and we're going to slow ourselves down. See, and even just using the reaction wheels, we're throwing our orbits all over the place because it's very, very sensitive, very, very tiny little movements here. Get back up onto the hack. There we are on the hack. We bring up our RCS and we fire our RCS forward, and we are now slowing down just a few meters per second, and we will in just a moment be orbiting the MUN. And I'm guessing we're going to be orbiting about 90 meters per second by the time we actually pull in to final MUN orbit. But again, we're just using our RCS systems right now. There's the ship's firing RCS. There's the MUN coming into orbit little by little by little. And we just want to close this because this is where we escape. We want to remove that escape in 11 hours. And in fact, we could go all the way down to here and just fire the engines once. And that's a pretty actually good orbit. I think that would be a very satisfactory orbit if we could get there. But I'm just going to try to use this to close this so we don't have a MUN escape before we go into deep down into the gravity well. Because it seems the further out we are, the more we actually can make a change to our the more effectively we can make a delta V change. That's weird. Change toward change of velocity. But anyway, we're coming down here. We're 98 meters per second. I'm thinking, what if we create? Let's create ourselves a hello. I want to create a. There we go. Set as target. Set as target. Oh, we're having trouble, aren't we? Set as target. No target. And I can't add. Why can't I add? Oh man, we're really low on monopropellant. Let me keep going. Why can't I add a maneuver or set a target? 95 meters per second. You know, we're going to have to go down in there and we're going to have to use the lander engines. I don't think we have any choice. I'm going to disable these engines, shut them down, lock the gimbal, and throttle is down, and I'm going to activate this engine. Shoot. Okay. And I'm going to turn off RCS, I'm going to turn off ASAS, and I'm going to go to this view. I'm going to fall down into that gravity well. And when we get down here, we're going to add a maneuver. I just can't add a maneuver yet. I really want to. We go up to 100 times. 1,000 times. And now you can see that we're really looking at falling out of orbit, spinning away from the MUN. Don't want to do. Don't want to do. The closer we get to periapsis, the faster we're going. Zeroed down. I'm going to line my nose up with the direction of travel because I'm firing the nose-facing engine. So I need to go exactly the opposite direction that I want to go. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. There we go. 3, 2, 1, and mark, and firing the engines. And we should see this orbit drop. Let's make sure we're firing in the opposite direction. There we are, there we are. We've just made a stable orbit, and now we're going to fire the engines just a little bit. here so we can see that actually happening. And just a little bit from the lander, just a little bit of energy from the lander. And the orbit's significantly dropping. We're going to turn the engine off. We're going to get to the periapsis. And then the periapsis, we're going to collapse that down to a circular orbit as much as we can using the reaction systems, which don't appear to be firing at this time, and that's good. Really low on reaction fuel, though. Really, really, really low. We're low on all kinds of fuel. And there we are. And now at this point, here's an interesting question. Should we just land? I think we're in a good posture to just land and then to leave the Darby Explorer where it is. The Darby Explorer is in a stable orbit around the MUN, and I'm okay. Make sure this tank is empty. It is completely empty. These are almost empty. Can I transfer fuel in? I'm going to transfer all the fuel I can into the lander's monopropellant systems. Leaving myself a little monopropellant in the Darby. But that's it. We are done now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are launching. We are go for land. I'm not going to spend any more time trying to get the Darby into a more circular orbit. I think this is circular orbit enough. Everyone waves goodbye. This is it. We are going to decouple the node. And we jump over to the other spaceship, and we are good. Make sure we can control our own lights. Lights off. Lights on. Check our resources. Liquid tanks full. Monopropellant is very low. Electrical is good. Lower landing gear. Come on, gear. Go, gear. There we go. Gear is coming down. Gear is coming down. Gear is locked. Gear is locked in position. We are good. We are very good to go. Now, there is no way that we can slow down at this point because we'll slow down right into the Darby. So what we need to do is pull back from the Darby. Like so. And then we need to get ourselves below her somehow. So I think what we want to do is go to the right a little. Let's see if I'm doing this correctly. Yep, doing it correctly. Going to get beyond that solar panel. And now I'm slowing the ship down in orbit. So we're going to begin descending towards the MUN. And I think the first thing we want to do is get the lander into a circular orbit. There we are. There we are. Going to get ourselves lined up with the counter to the axes of movement right now. And again, firing retros. Make sure we're not going to hit the Darby. Don't want 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 to hit the Darby. Get out of the way of the Darby. Get out of the way of the Darby. Man, that is a big ass ship. And there we are. We're in lower orbit now than the Darby. The Darby should pass by us safely. We'll let it do that before we do any more maneuverable, any more orbital freaking around. And from inside the cockpit, we can't see the Darby, but let's rotate so we can see the Darby rotating. There's the MUN. There's our target. There is our target. Oh dear. There's our target. And we wave bye-bye to our friends who will continue to work on the ship on the Darby station, and eventually we'll be getting a refueling tanker up here so we can get the Darby in closer to a circular orbit, and then she will become, let's make sure we've got everything we need for her to become that, she will become our orbital moon base. Tanks are completely empty, but now with the MUN Lander no longer on the ship, how far are we away from being able to actually get into a circular orbit with the Darby? Just going to try this really quick and see how fast I can drop that orbital speed. Ready? And firing up the reaction jets, slowing her down. 6, 5, 4. Yeah, we're going to be able to possibly get into a more circular orbit just using the reaction jets, just using the RCS. So we're going to leave that for another adventure. This ship is fine. This ship is perfectly fine. I'm going to turn off the computers, turn off the reaction systems. You guys are good with power. Electrical charge is good. We're going to go back to the Darby Lander and get the ship, and we're going to rename the vessel Darby Lander. There we are. We're now officially the Darby Lander, and let's get ourselves into the orbit we want. Dropping, 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 dropping. Apoasis is going down, going down, going down. I don't think we need RCS here for this. It looks like we're going to come down on the equator. That's good. We've really got a kind of a tilt, but I really want to come down right there by the big crater. In fact, if I could come into the big crater, that'd be perfect. I wonder if we can actually just do that. Hardly using any fuel at all. This is really great. Do I feel up to a landing? That's the thing you gotta ask yourself, punk. Do I feel lucky? I mean, if I let this engine keep going, I will come down right there. I think that's going to happen. I think we're landing this time through. It's going to happen. We're going to land this time. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. So here we go. We pull that orbit down and down and down and down. I mean, we could orbit around the moon and just skim the surface. Do we want to do that? How high are we up? 120 meters. My gosh. 120,000 meters is really far up. I mean, we're a long, long way up. There's no atmosphere, so it's not like we're going to be aerobraking. 50,000 meters is high enough to be around Kerbal. Don't want to go below 20 because that's how high the mountains are, and you'll start hitting crater rims and stuff like that. So let's go to 30. Nope, wrong direction. I'm using the RCS now to bring myself down to 30. And good. There we are. Okay, so we're going to go around, and when we get over here to the current periapsis, then we will make this our landing point. Whew. Okay, so let's go see what it looks like. I don't see the MUN. Where's the MUN? Who's got the MUN? It's got to be around somewhere. There it is. Oh, beautiful. And there's the there's Kerbal just in the background. Let me take a screenshot of that. Kerbal rise. That's beautiful. I love that. That's nice. So we've done it. We're in MUN Orbit. We've made it to MUN Orbit. And I think I'm still got a cold, so my reactions aren't that great. And I think I really need to just get a good night's sleep. And then tomorrow we'll film the MUN landing. You know, we'll skim over the surface. And tomorrow we'll do a MUN landing. Because I think right now, I'm just feeling very lucky to have gotten here. Oh, we're not close enough anymore to the Darby to be able to select it. Let's first turn off our RCS and save that. Turn off that, save that. I don't like using electricity. I'm going to turn the lights off because we got to save those batteries for the landing. The batteries are already down, and I suppose I could charge them up with a solar panel. So let's deploy one panel. Make sure that it gets into the sunlight. Blocked by the AS module. So we're going to rotate, direct sunlight, and we'll stop. Energy flow goes up. And there are electrical charges heading back up, so we're okay. So that's just enough solar panel that we're able to recharge. And tomorrow we will pick that one back up. And for now, we're going to go to the Darby station. I'm going to see if I can, just in the time that's left, get myself into a nice orbit using the reaction systems here. So let me see what I can do here. It's really the perfect opportunity. Get this going like that. I've completely drained the tanks. And get over so that we're in some sort of alignment with the actual rotation or actual orbit. And I'm facing forward on the gimbal. So we're going to use the RCS system to go backward. And there we are. We're slowing down. Slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. Maybe we can get a... Oh, no. I want to make a new maneuver. There we go. I want to slow down. Whoa, that's a lot. I want to slow down. That's too much. I want to slow down that much, so I'm still up there far enough. So let's do that. And then basically we just sit here and we use RCS to slow ourselves down until we reach a point where we're in a circular orbit of some sort. And then every time we come around and we reach the periapsis, then we just use reaction jets to slow ourselves down some more. And it takes a long time. It takes a very, 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 very long time. But it's worth it. But it doesn't seem like the kind of thing that a person wants to stare at a TV screen on YouTube for a really long time. So what I'm going to do is do this offline for the next 9 minutes and 6 seconds. That's how long it's going to take. And I will see you guys later. Let me get this thing ready to time out. And that's 23 minutes, and I can't imagine why anyone would want to watch me hold down the N key for 10 minutes. So I'll talk to you guys later.